Today is Wednesday. Well, for sure we'll do one tomorrow, and then we'll see if we do one on Friday. And we won't do any on the weekend, and we'll see if we need to do something next week. But general, again, purpose is just to keep you all updated as to what's going on overall and kind of what our problems are and our progress. And so I'll just jump right in. So yesterday we had some persistent issues still with specimens. That was been frustrating. I want to tease it that it would think we may have gotten a solution here, but hopefully it won't be on for tomorrow. But we're kind of reporting on yesterday's mid-afternoon, kind of what was the big priority. So specimen label printing still was a bugaboo. A sepsis workflow, but there were some issues in it, some missing components and so forth, but that actually got resolved quite quickly. We can actually report that one resolved. We still are having some issues with outpatient labs in their interface and how those orders are routed, but I think we should get that resolved today. I don't know if you keep in track, but a lot of what I mentioned today is not what we mentioned over the last two. So there are things that are getting resolved. With that exception of specimens. We've had some issues with inbound faxing, so digital faxes that come in, they're not necessarily ending up in the right place, but figuring that out. There's a thing called a provider dictionary and how that relates to how our bills eventually go out, and we noticed some errors with that, and so we're fixing those. And then something that I think will probably stay on for quite a while until all that data that we decided would come from Meditech into Epic gets brought over. We still are noticing, and we will continue to notice little gaps here and there, and we have to go back in and fill those gaps. There's nothing unexpected about that, but we don't want too much of it. And right now, it just seems to be something we're just going to have to steadily work on. A big win yesterday, a huge win for those of us that worry about the money was that the claims were sent. And when the claims go out, so much of our bills are done electronically. We don't send a paper bill with a list and an invoice. It all goes to in a very digital and somewhat complicated processes to our various payers, the government payers like Medicare, Medicaid, certainly HMSA and others. And we want to be sure not only do they go out, that they've been accepted and that we actually, because a lot of our payments are pretty automated, that we see money being approved. So the first pass was a positive one. So that is a big deal because eventually we want to get where hundreds of claims go out every day. And again, that helps us assure that we have our money. So that was a big win. We had some nagging hardware issues in different places. Some issues with our Dragon, our voice recognition software. There were some issues with anesthesia workstations and others, and we're going to hopefully, well, actually, behind the scenes at night, a lot of these areas are getting work when people aren't here. Sometimes we're even swapping out stations or putting in new equipment to make sure those problems don't stick around. So they've been steadily being resolved. Hopefully we'll get less hardware issues as we go through the rest of the week. Really, I think we're probably moving on into the fun stuff. There's food today, so bentos and pizza and other things, mostly bentos, different kinds are getting distributed to all the different areas. So it's quite a production to get a couple thousand bentos out to everybody, but we just want food is how we show appreciation around here. Is not only how we do it, but I think we all love food. So hopefully you feel a bit appreciated. They're pretty decent bentos. Hope you like them. And we will do that again next Wednesday. Do we have any other free food for the rest of the week? Sorry, no more free food. We ate up all ice cream.
I think we ate most of it.
Ice cream's gone. Bento's almost gone. But actually got one more round for next week. Thank you for all the tickets that have been put in. We have about, I think, well, yesterday's count, we were at about 1,750 tickets and our resolve rate was about 60%. So hopefully that rate will go up. of course, these are tickets that have come in and they will continue to come in and get resolved. So this kind of a cycle that we go through. But again, this is how you help us know what's going on out there. So like I've said, every day since we've been doing this, if you are stuck, you're having trouble, use your F1 button, find a super user, somebody with a vest. They're out there. They'll be out next week too. Also, put in a ticket. Even if you've had your issue resolved, it's good for us to know what's been going on, and then also where we need to prioritize resources. Because if we're getting a ton of tickets about an area and it's causing problems, what will happen is you'll get more resources, which will help you. So put in your tickets. I will make a comment, just kind of our strategy as we do these user meetings and we realize that there are areas that are struggling or a high priority. That's how we shift our resources. So no one area is guaranteed to always have a resource, especially if you're doing things really well, because sometimes we will switch over or move resources to an area that's really having problems so we can get through that. So we try to make sure that everybody has some help, but if your person gets pulled for a while, don't get too excited. It probably is because we really needed their help elsewhere. I just wanted to put that out. We got some feedback yesterday that, that there was ownership over your support. There's definitely some ownership, but we also have to balance it as to what's going on. So just throwing that out there. Thank you for all our super users and our Health Connect team. The attitudes have stayed good. I haven't heard really one report of ugly behavior, and I think people are trying their best to show some aloha and some patience. And we got to keep that going though for the rest of this month. Really, it's not just the first few days. But thank you for doing that. Attitude is so much of it, and for all of you putting in all those hours, much appreciated. I think our patients will love what we can do with this program or with this EMR. So again, these are very short. If you have any questions, I don't really see much up there, which is not a bad thing. But if you have any concerns, hopefully I'll be able to hear about it and we can talk about it tomorrow. But other than that, Kris, you got anything to add?
Just that the MyChart booth is open in the lobby. So if you are an employee here, we are using MyChart for employee, or we're using Epic for employee health. It's a separate module, but I just recommend everybody go down and sign up if you haven't signed up already.
Do we get ice cream?
No.
Well,
We did a lot of ice cream over the weekend.
You should do it anyway. MyChart's a really cool tool, and we will use it, like we said, as much as we can to honestly get the benefit of our investment, employee health notifications, and all. We really want to utilize the MyChart versus maybe some of the ways we used to communicate. So that'll be very helpful. And some of you already have experienced it, if you get care at some of the other hospitals in the state, and it is a really great app. So encourage you to sign up. Our goal is to have half the people who interact in our system over the first 6 months be signed up on MyChart. And that really is a big chunk of the community. So you're going to hear more and more about that. So help us out. And if you can, help your loved ones get on MyChart, and that way we all can be connected with our healthcare. All right. Aloha, everybody. You have a great day, and hope everything goes well today. Bye-bye.